Hello and welcome. In this video, we will provide an overview of the Tensorflow library, as well as the structure of a basic Tensorflow application. Tensorflow is an open-source library for creating large-scale machine learning applications. It can model computations on a wide variety of hardware, ranging from Android devices to heterogeneous multi-GPU systems. TensorFlow uses a special structure in order to execute code on different devices, like CPUs and GPUs. Computations are defined as a graph, and each graph is made up of operations, also known as ops. So whenever we work with TensorFlow, we define the series of operations in a graph. To run these operations, we need to launch the graph into a session. The session translates the operations and passes them to a device for execution. To use TensorFlow, we need to import the library. We'll give it the name TF so that we can access a module by writing TF dot, and then the module's name. To create our first graph, we'll start by using source operations, which do not require any input. These source operations, or source ops, will pass their information to other operations which will actually run computations. Let's create two source operations that will output numbers. We'll define them as A and B, which you can see in the following piece of code. We'll also define a simple computational operation. TF.add is used to sum two elements, but you could also use C equals A plus B. Since graphs need to be executed in the context of a session, we need to create a session object to launch the graph. Let's run the session to get the result from the previously defined C operation. The following command closes the session in order to release resources. To avoid having to close the sessions every time, we can define them in a with block. After running the with block, the session will close automatically. You're probably thinking, that was a lot of work just to add two numbers together. But it's extremely important that you understand the basic structure of TensorFlow, because once you do, you can define any computations that you want. And again, TensorFlow's structure allows it to handle computations on different devices, and even in clusters. If you want to learn more about this, you can run the method tf.device. Feel free to experiment with the structure of TensorFlow in order to get a better idea of how it works. If you want a list of all the mathematical operations that TensorFlow supports, you can check out the documentation. By now, you should understand the structure of TensorFlow and how to create a basic application. Thank you for watching this video. To practice and learn more, go to the lab and run the code for yourself.